everybody, welcome to EduTap and also welcome to the government scheme session. We are covering today the revised scheme of National Livestock Mission. Before that, I can already see the comments. Good morning, Shalini and Vishali. I take the feedback, but I also want to apologize for today's session because it is going to be a detailed one because there are three sub schemes under it. But I definitely have taken the feedback, and from the next class, and in fact today also, I'll try to be very short and crisp. But and from next on, I'll definitely try. But today it might extend because of the details that are present in this particular video. Okay, and why are we covering about this particular scheme? So see, if you look at this news, this is of 21st of February, and it says that some additional features have been added under the scheme. Activities have been added under the scheme. So we will understand more about these activities once we have the basic understanding of it. Okay, so let's start off the session. But before that, is an announcement for all the regulatory body aspirants. So we have come up with one-stop solution guide to all the queries that you must be having regarding the organization you want to join. For example, if you want to know more about RBI NABARD SEBI, then all the detailed information has been present over there along with the recruitment process. For example, how many phases are there, what is the pattern of each phase, and all such information has been given so that you have an idea like what are the eligibility criteria do you fulfill, or if something where you lack, then you would have an option, right? And if you fulfill the criteria, then the syllabus has also been mentioned about the previous year cutoff trends also, so that you would have all the clarity before starting off with the examination. And at the end, we have given some steps also that you can follow on your own if you're going for self preparation, which will help you to boost up your preparation. So do not miss the opportunities. You can download these e-guidebooks which are free of cost from the link that is provided in the description box below. Okay, now let's talk about livestock mission. I'll answer all the doubts. Okay, just I'll answer it at the end of the session. And good morning, Pavan, Pratul, and Nitin. Okay, so this is about, we are talking about livestock. But what is a livestock? Okay, so whatever animals that you rear on farms, if you have to say whatever animals that you rear on the farms to get some production out of them, those are known as what? Those are known as livestock. Okay, it not necessarily have to be meat. For example, if you look for horse, so horse can be used for various activities, physical activities in the field, right? So livestock not necessarily has to be consumed, but whatever animals that you are rearing on the farm are known as livestock. Okay, now we are calling under this particular mission, what will be the objective then? Okay, objective will be to increase first of all the productivity. A productivity can mean any sense. For example, if I am rearing a cow, the productivity will be increased if the cow is providing more milk. Okay, if it is about hen or poultry, then the productivity will increase about about the more production of eggs, right? ठीक है, अब ये सब क्या है? इनकी productivity है. Now if I talk about horse, the productivity can be to increase their strength, right? So here in the livestock mission, the aim is to increase the productivity, and definitely these directly indirectly will provide employment generation also. ठीक है, employment generation होगा, and whatever be the excessive of the production we have. देखो, अगर productivity increase होगी, for example, if cow's productivity is increased to produce more milk, so definitely that more milk is now the more product that we have gotten. ठीक है, तो productivity से from more productivity we will get more products, right? And those more products then we can use for the export purpose also. So it will help to have that our dominance at the international level also, and yes, this will increase the revenue as well. ठीक है, so all in all, if we talk about the National Livestock Mission, it talks about the employment generation, the people who will be involved in this farming sector, and also the research and the scientific research, as well as this awareness that will be shared with among with the farmers. For that also we would be requiring people, right? So employment generation will be there. Entrepreneurship development, for example, if I got to know, okay, now we have much better revenue I can generate from poultry farming, definitely I would want to set up a business in that, right? So that will improve the entrepreneurship opportunity for me and people like me as well, right? So entrepreneurship development will be increased, and definitely increase in per animal productivity. Their productivity will increase, so the products will increase, and that will help to have the export also. ठीक है, so this is all about the National Livestock Mission in gist, like what are the things that we are going to understand. Now under the mission we will understand about, when we are talking about entrepreneurial development, we are talking about, okay, productive will be increased. So what they have done under this mission, then they have categorized, then they have created some missions. Okay, these submissions will talk about increasing the productivity, some will talk about the entrepreneurship opportunity, some will talk about the research, some will talk about how to increase the fodder. Fodder क्या होता है? The feed. What is a fodder? The feed that is provided to the farm animals, that is known as fodder. So whatever things that they eat, be it hay, silage, now there are different categories. Definitely in the guidelines of mission, this mission guideline, there is no detailed mention of feeds, like what are the provided. So you need not also to remember, but simply you can remember whatever is the fodder that needs, because if they eat good food, they would have more productivity, right? So the food has to be of more nutritional value, right? So even the focus on this also have been done under the scheme. Okay, I hope you have clarity till now. Now these three segments only we are going to understand in detail. Okay, but before that, let's start off with the basics. So the launcher of the scheme, initially when the scheme was launched, it was launched in 2014-15. Okay, however in the year 2021-2022 financial year, the scheme guidelines were revised. That is why I have mentioned here 2021, because the guidelines were revised, right? But initially in 2014-15 financial year, the particular scheme was launched. It is easier to keep in mind that, okay, this falls under the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, right? But now if you focus on the name of the ministry, it says Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, but we are only talking about the livestock, right? That is why under the ministry also, the department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying is the one which will be actually taking care of the scheme, okay, at the national level. Then at state level, there will be different state implementing agencies that will be set up by the government, okay, by the respective state government, and those will be taking care of the implementation, funding and functioning, monitoring of the scheme, okay. So, but at national level, Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying will be there, and the secretary of this department only will be the chairperson of the committee, okay, empowering committee, who is like the head of the committee, okay, for this particular mission. Now under the scheme, what will be done? We are talking about entrepreneurial opportunity. So when we are talking about it, so definitely here loaning or financial support is involved, right? And in such cases, what happens? Government, they provides with subsidy or some incentive they provide with, right? So here the government will provide these to the beneficiaries with the channel, right? So the channel over here under the National Livestock Mission is what organization? It is SEBI. So whatever be the subsidy that will be provided under this particular mission to the entrepreneurs or for other activities, which we will look at one by one, so that will be provided by whom? That will be provided by SEBI. ठीक है, तो दिस इज द बेसिक. ठीक है, अब आगे बढ़ते धीरे धीरे और समझते हैं. ठीक है, ऑब्जेक्टिव्स क्या है? सो ऑब्जेक्टिव्स वी हैव ऑलरेडी अंडरस्टूड. समवेयर इट विल टॉक अबाउट द एनहांसिंग द प्रोडक्शन एंड प्रोडक्टिविटी. It will talk about the focusing on the research and development. It will talk about the import export, right? तो ये सारी चीजें, and of course definitely the employment generation that we are talking about, right? When we will focus more, we will do more research and development, R&D in the livestock sector, definitely more and more people will get attracted towards it, and this will increase the entrepreneurship development in small ruminant. What are small ruminant? तो ruminant is basically the gut, okay, जो intestine guts होते हैं ना, तो ruminants are the one which have 4 chamber of stomach. ठीक है, तो ऐसे कुछ कुछ आपके there are some animals, for example your cow, they have 4 chambers in their stomach, right? Similarly we have small ruminants. This includes your goats and sheep. So simply if you have to keep in mind, you don't have to keep anything, just keep in mind small ruminant means your goats and sheep. ठीक है, so under this particular mission, employment generation opportunities will be there for the people who wants to get involved in the goat and sheep production and the other associated entrepreneurship activities that are there, which we will understand one by one. ठीक है, poultry and piggery sector and also the fodder sector. So what you have to keep in mind, employment generation किसमें होगा? Goats and sheep cases. Poultry are your birds. ठीक है, poultry means birds, most commonly chicken, but apart from poultry we have chickens, we have ducks also, quail also, but commonly we keep in mind chickens only. ठीक है, तो poultry is involved. Piggery means your pigs. ठीक है, and fodder means importance fodder sector is what? Because fodder sector we also have to focus on, because with more nourished fodder the productivity will be more. ठीक है, तो employment generation होगा. Apart from that, we have already understood we have to increase the animal productivity. How it will be improved? देखो, definitely if you keep in mind, if you're eating healthy you would have more energy, right? So definitely fodder sector have one of the factor, or improving or enriching fodder is definitely going to increase the productivity. But along with that, to have that genetic improvement, we need to have the genetically improvement at the breed level. ठीक है, तो per capita productivity will also be increased by focusing on the breed improvement. Breed मतलब क्या हुआ? For example, if you look at normal, first I'll give examples of dog. ठीक है, तो dog में we have Pomeranian, we have German Shepherd, we have Labrador. These are the breeds, right? So similarly in goats, sheep, poultry, pigs also we have different names, different breeds that exist. ठीक है, तो इन breed का improvement should be there. Then increase in production होगा, definitely meat, egg, ठीक है, इन सब का इंक्रीज इन प्रोडक्शन होगा. अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ फीड एंड फॉडर वी हैव टू कीप इन माइंड. दिस we have to have constant availability in the market to fulfill the demand of this sector. ठीक है, why we have to focus? Why would I as an entrepreneur would want to enter into this field when I know that there is shortage of fodder supply, है ना? So that is why we have to increase to reduce the demand from outside also, and to have that constant availability into the market. ठीक है, तो वही है, reduce the demand supply gap, कि demand काफी ज़्यादा है, there's a lot of demand but there is not supply, so for that also focus will be given. ठीक है, apart from that, promoting risk management. How? By providing livestock insurance to farmers. ठीक है, तो इसमें for anything, like we have life insurance, for agriculture we have a lot of insurance schemes that we have, right? Similarly for livestock also, if they have insurance, definitely it will boost their confidence, and they will be more risk taking. ठीक है, and definitely we have to focus on research also, because when the research is done at the theoretical level, then only it is practically implemented, right? So that we have to done. Apart from that, what else has to be done? Whatever be in the research, whatever technologies that we get to know, right, or the new learnings that we have, so that have to be transferred, that knowledge has to be transferred to the, you can say, the state functionaries or the government officials, right? Or the maybe the at the farming level. तो capacity building means skill training. तो वो जो भी whatever learning we will have, देखो research will be done by scientists, right, in their laboratories, but then that has to be disseminated to whatever be the government farms we have, the farmers that want to involve, the new people who want to get involved into the sector, right? So then dissemination, so that will come under your extension. This knowledge that is provided, this knowledge that has been gained in the laboratories, now that has been taught to the people outside the laboratory, that is known as what? That is known as extension. ठीक है, तो under the submission if we look at, there have been 3 categories. The first one talk about the breed development of our livestock and poultry. ठीक है, submission on feed and fodder development. I hope now it's more clarity you would have while you are reading about these. ठीक है, and the third one is submission of innovation and extension. So I hope you get to know innovation, this research and development and innovation will be done in the farms, in the laboratories, and then it will be taught further to the state functionaries and the farmers involved, and that is how they will be taught through the extension. ठीक है, through the extension method they will be taught. ठीक है, अब we are going to look at them one by one. ठीक है, अब ये थोड़ा सा overwhelming हो सकता है, because under the first component, second and third are very very simple. It just, you know, half page slide you have, but the first one is in detail, because here when we talked about livestock and poultry, so definitely we are going to look at individually of poultry first. ठीक है, for them what are the criteria that have been given, then for the goats and the sheeps, which are our small ruminants, we are going to look at, and then we will look for piggery. ठीक है, तो our major focus will be on these 3. But before that, the differences or the similarities which in the procedure will be there for the poultry, small ruminants and for the piggeries. Before that, this eligibility is common for all. Basically, who are eligible to be part of this submission, ठीक है. So if I talk about it, so whoever involved, you need not to memorize the names, just keep in mind whoever are involved in this livestock sector, all are eligible, be it private entrepreneurs, be it your self-help groups, be it your farmers corporation organization, joint liability group, or your dairy cooperatives, or whoever companies that comes under the section 8. So section 8 companies, all in all, whoever are involved in livestock sector are eligible for the submission. ठीक है. इसको इसलिए I have I have just made this slide separately because you need not to memorize these things. ठीक है. चलो अब एक एक करके बात करते हैं. Submission on breed development of livestock and poultry. देखो usually poultry, because these are birds, that is why it's not kept under livestock, so that is why we say livestock and poultry. Livestock includes your cattle, piggery, now whatever the ruminants that are there, right, all will come under livestock. Horse जो भी आपके सारे हैं, and poultry, these are your birds. अब we will start off with the breed development of rural poultry. Means we will start off with poultry, then we will talk about the goats and sheep, and then we will talk about the piggery. ठीक है. अब first of all, when we talk about that we want to have this development in poultry, then we are talking about what? We are talking about establishment of the farms, about the hatcheries. What are hatcheries? The eggs, you must have heard that eggs are hatched. Okay, the brooder, the mother, she sits on it, not necessarily have to be mother. Brooder is any bird that sits on the eggs to maintain that specific temperature in which the eggs they can develop. ठीक है. तो for that artificially we can provide that temperature environment, so that is known as hatchery, where the eggs are hatched and then they come out of the eggs. ठीक है. तो whatever be the requirement of hatchery, of establishing the farm, of having that production unit, ठीक है, hatching eggs, ठीक है, or rearing them up to 4 weeks in the mother unit, मतलब all in all if I say whatever be the instruments that are required in the poultry, for that purpose money can be provided under the scheme. Simply इसको ऐसे याद रखो. तो if you want to skip this particular step, you can do so. You just have to keep in mind in rural poultry whatever be the requirement that is needed, for that money will be provided. अब कितना मिलेगा? For example, I am an entrepreneur, I want to establish a particular farm, so I would require money. ठीक है. And that and if I am establishing a farm, so that is a certain project that I am running, है ना. So for that project I will be require money. Government say that whatever be the overall cost of that project will be 50% will be subsidized by government. What does it mean? That 50% of that amount, for example, if my is like 10 lakh project is there, or 50% means 5 lakh will be given by government. If mine is 20 lakh project, 50% of it means 10 lakh will be provided by the government. ठीक है. I hope clarity है. If you have if you have confusion in between the things that we are reading, you can comment it down. यहीं पे I will reply. ठीक है. But for the rest of the question I will reply later on. अब it says whatever be the overall project cost, 50% will be subsidized. Subsidized means will be funded by government. ठीक है. अब ये चीज समझ में आ गई. But there is a limit also. What if I just come up with like 100 lakh project or like 100 crore project, right? So government cannot give everything. That is why they have made a cap that 50% we will give, but up to maximum how much we will give? 25 lakh of each unit. Means in rural poultry, please keep in mind, in rural poultry of the overall project 50% will be given by the central government, but there is a cap also. So maximum subsidy how much will be given? 25 lakh given. ठीक है. 25 लाख तक दी जाएगी. Simple है. Now this subsidy of this 50%, for example I have a 10 lakh का project I have, तो 10 lakh का project means 50% means 5 lakh will be given by the central government as a subsidy. ठीक है. अब this 5 lakh will be provided to me in 2 installments. How in 2 installment it will be provided? 50-50 मिलेगा. तो मतलब first I will get 2.5 lakh, then I will get in the second installment 2.5 lakh. ठीक है. So if government is giving in 2 installment, there definitely must be some condition. ठीक है. So what says, इससे पहले, before this let's understand there can be 2 type of entrepreneur. Either is the one who would take 50% subsidy from the government and rest 50 he would take as loan. ठीक है. There is another entrepreneur who is doing what? 50% is taking subsidy from the government and rest 50 he is using his own money, so he is not going for any loan. ठीक है. So there are two cases. So this installment we will understand by case. So the first case is where 50% subsidy government is giving and the rest 50 the entrepreneur is going to the bank to take as loan. ठीक है. So in that scenario, where the entrepreneur is taking the rest 50% from the bank, in that scenario the first installment of this subsidy by the government will be given to the beneficiary's account once the first installment of loan is provided by the bank. ठीक है. देखो गवर्नमेंट द बैंक विल ऑल्सो गिव loans, ठीक है, इन इंस्टॉल वो लोन देंगे. ठीक है. सो वेन एवर सो फर्स्ट सब्सिडी द पर्सन विल गेट ओनली व्हेन फर्स्ट लोन इज बीइंग सैंक्शन टू द बेनिफिशियरी. ठीक है. एंड कंफर्मेशन आया फ्रॉम द स्टेट इंप्लीमेंटिंग एजेंसी. व्हाट डज इट मीन? SEBI will provide this subsidy first installment into the beneficiary's account only when the person has been provided the loan by the bank and it has been confirmed by the state implementing agency that okay, yes, the loan has been provided. ठीक है. So then the first installment of the subsidy will be given. Second installment of the subsidy will be given once the project is completed. ठीक है. So if I am a beneficiary who has taken 50% loan from the bank, my first subsidy installment by the government will be provided to me once the loan has been sanctioned to me and it has been approved by the or confirmed by the state implementing agency that yes, loan has been provided. The second installment will be provided to me of this particular subsidy by the government once all the project is being completed. ठीक है. I hope there is no confusion as of now. ठीक है. Another case can be of self finance where the 50% I am not taking from any bank. In that case, what is the criteria how this installment will be given? In that case, the first installment of the subsidy will be given to the beneficiary when the beneficiary has done 25% of the expenditure of his own. ठीक है. मतलब कि if I am the person who is using my money only for the project, but the government will definitely, in any case, government will give me the 50% subsidy. There is no salary criteria that the government has given. Whoever is involved in this particular mission will get the subsidy. ऐसा बोला है. ठीक है. There is no criteria of salary, ठीक है, या annual income. So it's been said that if I am the one who was utilizing my own money or if I was self-financing my project, in that case, if the project is like 10 lakh, ठीक है, 10 lakh का project है, if of that 25% I have contributed to the project, after that only my first installment will come, and this verification that yes, 25% of the project cost has been utilized for establishing the project or for constructing the project, first it will be verified by state implementing agency, and if they have verified, then only the government will provide the first subsidy. Secondly, again it's same after the completion of the project. ठीक है. तो in both the cases second installment will be after the completion of the project, but the first is when in the case of loaning it will be once the loan has been sanctioned, and in the case of self finance if I have made expenditure of 25% of the project cost, in that case I will get the subsidy. Till now we have studied what? In the poultry section, till now we have studied for whatever establishment under poultry, 50% of the project cost will be subsidized by government with the maximum limit of what? With the maximum limit of 25 lakh. ठीक है. ये एक maximum cap है. Now let's talk about some of the few features. ठीक है. These are like generic features. For example, यहाँ पे ना जो beneficiaries होंगे, the beneficiaries they need to provide bank guarantee for 3 years. ठीक है. मतलब कि एक वो assurance जो भी you can see that will be provided for 3 years, and whatever subsidy you have to keep in mind that subsidy that has been provided, it is for the construction and the functioning of that project. It cannot be used. No subsidy will be provided. ठीक है. For whatever be day to day expenditure or for personal vehicle or purchase of land, cost of rent, lease of land. मतलब इन सब के लिए for these चीज subsidy will not be given. Only for that construction of that particular farm and whatever technologies that need to be bought for that particular farm, for that project cost subsidy will be provided, not for the personal use or purchasing of land or the leasing or for having this लीजिंग ऑफ लैंड और कॉस्ट ऑफ रेंटिंग वगैरह के लिए नहीं होगी. ठीक है. एंड आफ्टर द प्रोजेक्ट हैज बीन मेड, ओके, आफ्टर दैट एटलीस्ट फॉर 2 years द स्टेट इम्प्लीमेंटिंग एजेंसी they will keep on taking up the follow up by the entrepreneur, ठीक है, from the entrepreneur, not by the, but yes, from the entrepreneur, to look at that, okay, whatever project was established, is it functioning or not, it is functional or not, ठीक है. तो पहला केस पोल्ट्री 50% up to 25 lakh in 2 installment by SEBI, ठीक है. Two cases है. First case, in case of loaning, when first installment is of loan is provided, then first installment of subsidy will be given, second will be after the completion. In case of self finance, what is the criteria? The first installment after 25% has been contributed by the entrepreneur into the project, and second after the completion. Then no, this subsidy will be provided for purchasing, renting, leasing of land, etc., or personal vehicle, ठीक है. That is all about the poultry. Second is about sheep and goat. Now in sheep and goat, what happens? Again, here also 50% subsidy will be given, but now here is a change, ठीक है. That is up to 50 lakh will be given. There in poultry, how much it was there? It was 25 lakh. Here what is the case? It is 50 lakh in 2 installment, and rest everything is same, ठीक है. Rest everything means same means what? We have said 2 installment will be given, so we have understood 2 cases, right? So those follow here also. We understood that no subsidy will be provided for leasing, purchasing, etc. That follows here, that is implemented here also, ठीक है. So apart from that cap which was of 25 lakh in that case, and here we have 50 lakh, rest apart, whatever be the features that we have understood, all applies for the sheep and goat also, ठीक है. अब now this was just for the construction of the farms, ठीक है, where the sheep and goats can live. But another case can be where we have to, because we are talking also about improving the breeds, right? So for improving the breed, there has to be separate center that need to be set up. देखो, you have to keep in mind, if I am rearing goats and sheep for their meat or milk purpose, that's a different thing. That is the first subsidy or project cost that we are talking about. But second is being more scientific, where I want to improve the breed, right? So for such center, there has to be some semen station that needs to be set up, right? Semen is what? Semen is that male reproductive fluid that helps the female to get pregnant, ठीक है. So that semen, if that is of high quality, so definitely the progeny or the next generation, that will be of high quality, good quality, right? So that is why these semen centers will be established, ठीक है. अब उनके construction के लिए, please keep in mind, this subsidy was just for the normal construction of farms. Now we are talking about more specific towards the improving the genes, right, for the breed improvement. So for the breed improvement, that one time grant will be given for the construction of the regional semen station, and how much that 1 lakh one time amount is given, that is 400 lakh. Now it seems a lot, this is present in the official guideline, ठीक है. So points are here there, if it is done, it is from the guidelines end only, but however it is very costly having such stations and construction of a very scientific environment. These are costly. In the official guideline it says rupees 400 lakh for construction one time will be given. And apart from that, देखो, for medicines, consumables also, इसके लिए भी कितना आपको थोड़ा उसमें फंडिंग आपकी जाएगी, ठीक है. Rest funding, यहाँ पे ना there is also 1%, there is also one amount, I think it is 30 lakh. I'm not sure about it. What I will do, I will just post it, I will pin it in the comment section, please look it there, okay. I think it's 30 lakh, but I might be wrong for now, because there is a lot of data that is present. I will confirm and I will pin it in the comment section, ठीक है. But for now, what we have studied, 50% subsidy up to 50 lakh for normal farms. But for the establishment of these semen centers, one time 400 lakh will be provided for the construction, and another amount will be provided for the whatever medicines, chemicals that is required for the processing of it, ठीक है. अब इसके अलावा, now you have established a semen center, then it needs its running also, because one time construction का पैसा दे दिया and one time grant for consumables दे दिया, but after that also money is required, right? So after that, whatever money will be required, it will be centrally sponsored. It means the funding will be shared by the center and state. So here center will provide 60% of the funding and state will require the 40% of the funding or whatever the expenses that will be there. This one time grant that we're talking about for the construction or for the procurement, that will be provided by the central government, ठीक है. अब establishment of banks भी चाहिए. अब वो है, there is one center, that is the semen center. And now for banks, from where? Bank is the area from where the farmers, they can go and buy the semen. In the previous case, it was about to having the collection. Now second, it talks about where the consumers can buy the bank. So in that case, for establishment of such bank, one time assistance कितना दिया है? 10 lakh का दिया है, ठीक है. 10 lakh का one time assessment दिया है, from where you can buy. तो अभी तक what we have studied, ठीक ठीक है अभी तक. Now if you look at for the, again we will just have quick revision. In poultry 50% of the subsidy up to 25 lakh in two installment by SEBI. Installment mein we had two cases. First case being when the loan is being taken by the bank, so in that case first installment when loan is being sanctioned, first subsidy installment, then second is after the completion of the project. In case of self finance, first subsidy is provided when the 25% has been invested by the entrepreneur into the project, ठीक है. Then first installment, second is after the completion. In there we just studied about that. Rest apart, that no subsidy for this and that, that's generic key feature that you can even if you read it once or twice you will understand. Second, now we have come to goats. Here also 50% of subsidy is given for the construction of normal farms and whatever technologies has to be introduced, but the cap is how much now? 50 lakh. 50 lakh cap. In case of poultry it was 25 lakh. Rest apart about the subsidy and everything is same. But now in this small ruminant we are also talking about improving the breeds, right? So for improving the breeds there are two things that have been kept in mind. First, to have the station where semen can be collected, and the second where it can be further sold to the farmer, ठीक है. So a farmer or the state functionaries or whoever involved in whoever wants to have good quality future generation, ठीक है. So in first case for the construction of such regional centers, one time grant of 400 lakh has been written in the guideline. However, I'll just cross check from the other sources also to see if it is 40 lakh or 400 lakh only, ठीक है. But in the guideline it's been written 400 lakh one time for the construction, and rest there is some amount which I will clarify and mention later, that is for the procurement, ठीक है. Rest apart, whatever funding that will be there, it will be for what? It will be for the whatever purpose, like whatever further expenditure that will be there, it will be centrally sponsored, ठीक है. अब now establishment of central bank के लिए one time कितना दिया गया है? 10 lakh, ठीक है. 10 lakh for the banks, and rest the 400 lakh that we have amount that we have seen, that was for the construction, ठीक है. If that will be 40, I'll just cross check, but in the guideline it's been 400 that has been written, ठीक है. Ab that we have done for goats. Now third we have come up for the piggery entrepreneur. Now the people who are engaged in pigs, ठीक है. Here also 50% of the subsidy will be given up to 30 lakh. For poultry 25 lakh. For small ruminants we have 50 lakh. For piggery we have 30 lakh cap, ठीक है. Rest apart everything again is same, ठीक है. Again everything is same about how the subsidy will be provided, in how many installment, in what scenarios, everything is same again, ठीक है. अब here also we are talking about two things. देखो in poultry ना usually we don't focus much on the breed because we already have a lot that are provided, ठीक है. But in the case of small ruminants and piggery we are giving additional focus on improving the breeds as well, ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे भी semen collection, here also there is about semen collection and the providing it to the farmers, ठीक है. अब यहाँ पे कितना मिलेगा? यहाँ पे one time grant कितना है? 150 lakh. तो I think that's 400 lakh only, because if here also they are giving 150 lakh, so there for small ruminants definitely it will be 400 lakh only, ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे establishment के लिए 150 lakh for the construction of the laboratories, ठीक है. For the construction of the laboratories and maintenance 150 lakh in case of pigs, 400 lakh in case of small ruminants, ठीक है. And one time grant is of 30 lakh for other expenditure, ठीक है. And there I'll just confirm and I'll pin the comment, ठीक है. But here for the other expenditure, again for the consumables, chemicals, whatever that is required, which we read in the small ruminant also, here also 30 lakh will be provided for it. Is there any confusion as of now? Please let me know, because I can understand it might be overwhelming. At the end I will again have a quick revision, ठीक है. तो अभी we are done with the first submission, that is on the breed development of livestock and poultry, ठीक है. So in that we studied 3: poultry, then we studied small ruminant which includes your sheep and goat, and third we studied about the piggery. In the case of what? In the case of our poultry 50% up to 25, in case of the small ruminants 50% up to 50 lakh, in case of piggery 50% up to 30 lakh. I hope there is no confusion as of now. Then in small ruminants, for the construction of the semen centers, 400 lakh will be one time grant that will be given, and for the rest of the formalities also there is some amount, okay. In case of piggery 150 is for the establishment of semen factory in case of piggery, and 30 lakh for the other expenditure that will be required. By that we are done with the first submission, which is breed development of livestock and poultry. ठीक है. In the official notification there was no some specification on the breed development of poultry. That is why I have not covered in this lecture. I have covered everything that has been mentioned in the guidelines. ठीक है. Next is now submission on feed and fodder development. देखो, unlike the first case where in submission we understood who were eligible, whoever are involved in the entrepreneurial activities under it, here you have to understand if I have to improve the feed and fodder, not all the not the self-help groups or the farmers will be involved in this factor. Who will be involved if I have to increase the quality of feed? Our state agriculture university who do research, right? Our ICAR, ठीक है, which is your Indian Council of Agriculture Research, right? This is the autonomous body which looks into the research. So whoever be the university or the institutions or the NGOs also, you can say, or even the private firms who are involved in the research part, whoever are involved in this research part, they will get the benefits under this particular submission. So when talk about that, who are the beneficiaries under the seed and fodder development, just keep in mind whoever be the state agriculture universities we have, or at the national level the bodies that we have which take care of the research and development of the at the genetic level of the plants, those will get the benefit under the scheme. ठीक है. अब कितना मिलेगा? 100% incentive will be given. ठीक है, 100% incentive मिलेगा. Unlike the first case where only 50% cost, with this cost that is given, because see, usually under the particular scheme na government institutes are only included. Now because government institutes are included, that is why 100% incentive has been provided in the all categories of fodder seed production. ठीक है. देखो, fodder can be of different type. For example, dhencha is a sort of grass that is provided. Sun hemp is also provided. Leucerine is also provided. Alfalfa. These are the names of the plants I am telling you which are used as fodder. ठीक है. So for any sort of such different plants, the proper seed production, मतलब good seed production के लिए money will be incentivized by the central government 100%. ठीक है. And the assistance will be provided in 2 installment. Again इसमें भी assistance कितना provide होगा? 2 installment में provide होगा, basis on how much seed has been produced. ठीक है. And first installment कब दी जाएगी? Once the approval of the project will be done. Viable means क्या होता है? जो which is viable मतलब जो possible है, something that is possible, that is something doable and something that will give the result. ठीक है, that is the viable proposal. So here the first installment will be provided, because देखो, when it's not like, you know, randomly scientists they start doing the experiment and by mistake any new production happens. No, they first have a detailed version that this is our analysis, and we think that as per this analysis, if we follow these steps, we would have such sort of seeds which would have such genes, right, which will improve the quality. So there is first proper project that is made. So first that project is approved, first installment will be provided, and the second will be provided once the process is done. Once the farmer once the scientist or these institute, now they have come up with the seeds and they are offering these seeds to the consumers. ठीक है. तो first once the proposal is accepted, and second once the seeds are produced. ठीक है. तो then only the second installment will be done. ठीक है. अब इसमें भी ना हमारे 3 कैटेगरीज होती है. हाउ मच विल बी प्रोवाइडेड. ठीक है. अब देखो, यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड there is a scientist who wants some desirable genes in this particular seed. ठीक है. So when he is doing this at the laboratory, he is focusing on just 1 or 2 genes. ठीक है. और very handful, like 2 or 3 genes, 2 or 3 seeds only he can create, where 100% of the genes is your genetic value. We are talking about the genes. I hope everybody of you know what gene is. They give the features to the organism. ठीक है. तो 100, when in the laboratory farmer is doing in the control environment, he is able to produce very handful, like very few number of seeds, right? So those have 100% of those qualities which the breeder wanted to have in the seeds, right? Those are known as your breeder seed. Breeder means breeder has himself made those seeds and it has 100% of the genetic purity. ठीक है. अब उसके लिए कितना असिस्टेंस दिया जाएगा? 250 रुपीज पर केजी के हिसाब से. ठीक है. ठीक है. Second is what happened now, but the breeder or the scientist had just made the handful of seeds. Now these cannot be sold further, right? Because we have an n number of population to who wants to have seeds, and these are just handful of seeds. So what can be done? So first, what happens? These seeds are again multiplied in the controlled environment only, so that from one seed, more seeds can be made. Okay, so that it can be made available to the people, right? So what happens then? The second generation we have, that is of foundation seeds. The first is a breeder seed, then from that we get foundation seed. Now you have to keep in mind, देखो कितना भी no matter how much control the farmer the scientist can go, because but this is a natural process that is going on, right? So this in this multiplication process, it might happen that not 100% of the genes which the which the scientist wanted to get into the new progeny, not 100% will get. तो आपके जो फाउंडेशन सीड की प्योरिटी होती है ना, that is 99.5%. 99.5% means what the breeder wanted to have in that seed, it is 99.5% accurate. 0.5 error here and there, it happens when we move from one generation to another. Okay, but then again, these are very handful, but we have a lot of population. Then what happens? These foundation seeds are they are first multiplied so that they can be further given into the market. Okay, again we are moving one generation ahead, so definitely there will be some changes in the purity. So your certified seeds, they are 99% pure. So आपके breeder seeds are 100% pure, means exact what the breeder wanted. If we compare foundation seed, they are not exactly what the farmers wanted, but yes, 99.5% what farmer wanted. And certified seeds are 99% what farmers wanted, and उनके लिए ये सब जो amount है वो दिया जाएगा. ठीक है, subsidy इतना दिया जाएगा. So I hope you have the clarity in this regard in the feed and fodder development. And then there is like formality. 100% assistance will be done in the cases of this. Now this information of research and development, now it has to be further provided to the people. So for that also 100% will be given by the government. ठीक है, central government will provide 100% assistance for conducting the extension, means providing the services to the people, research and development and innovation activity. ठीक है, और इसमें भी like for example I talk about breeder seed. Now they are scientists that they are doing. For foundation seed and for the certified seeds, that can be done by the private organizations also. ठीक है, so now if that can be done by private organizations, so definitely they would be requiring some money. Or even if the government organization they are going and they are establishing new project, for that also money is required. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे भी कितना है, 50% of total project cost कितना तक, 50 lakh. लिमिट कितनी है, 50 लाख तक. सो दैट इफ आई एम अ प्राइवेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, आई वांट टू हैव एस्टैब्लिशमेंट सो दैट आई कैन प्रोड्यूस सर्टिफाइड सीड्स, so that I can sell it further to the people, right? So for that also I would be requiring an arrangement. So for that 50% of the project cost will be bear by the central government, and there is a limit of what, up to 50 lakh. ठीक है, last है innovation and extension. Again it says everything. ठीक है, 100% will be given by that. ठीक है, and who will be involved under this? ICRR, central institute involved in it, state government universities, or the farms, state farms also they are included, or whatever be the credible institution, or the new startups, whoever wants to get into the innovation in livestock and extension, means spreading that news, for them 100% assistance is there. Whenever any new any institute or any new startup is coming for conducting extension, rural development or innovation in livestock, they will get 100% assistance. Please keep in mind 100% assistance. Now that was the news. I know it's very long session now, it is now, okay, but I hope you have now all the clarity and you need not to mug up the data all and again. I have tried that in this session only you get to keep in mind everything. ठीक है, अब what are the additional activities that have been added, we'll just briefly look. ठीक है, first says, देखो अभी तक what we have looked at just poultry, small ruminants, and apart from that the piggery we have said. Now what the government has said कि अब entrepreneurship opportunities for horse, let me just highlight it. For horse, mule and camel will also be there. Again 50% capital subsidy. So by now we have understood कि यार 50% मिलता है. ठीक है, 50% of the subsidy up to how much, up to 50 lakh. For poultry 25 lakh, small ruminant 50 lakh. Now for then after that we had piggery 30 lakh. Now for donkey, mule, camel, horse, for them also cap कितना है, 50 lakh का है. ठीक है, and one time establishment for semen station कितना दिया जाएगा, 10 करोड़ का दिया जाएगा. ठीक है, कितना दिया जाएगा, 10 करोड़ का एस्टैब्लिशमेंट दिया जाएगा. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट whoever are involved, again same, whoever the new companies, startups, self help groups, whoever person who is involved under it, ठीक है, those will be included. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट इसमें कुछ और ऐड हुए हैं, ठीक है. इसमें जैसे आपका फॉर्डर प्रोडक्शन में वेस्ट लैंड areas are also added. This is a new development has been done. And lastly, if you remember the objective, we also talked about the insurance that will be there for farmers, right, for the risk management. So initially there were different percentage for different criteria, there was different percentage, like देखो, insurance is what you have to give some premium, and whenever some unfortunate incident happen, then you get the reimbursement by the government, right. Here initially there were, different percentage, like premium of 20%, in some cases 30%. Government has simplified it. The livestock insurance program has been simplified, the government. Now the premium to the farmers, now it has been how much, now it is 15% in all the cases, and it will be 15%. The premium has to be given now is 15% as against the current share, which is 20, 30, 40, 15 rest of the cases. अब कितना होगा exact, उसका 15% होगा, ठीक है. 15% premium will be given. Now here's a very simple homework for you all. I hope you all will be able to do that. In the next session of the last two sessions, whoever has given the right answer, I'll talk about it. I'll share the pictures with you all. So that is all in this very long video, but I hope now everything about the National Livestock Mission is clear, and you will be able to answer all the queries in or whatever questions that comes in the examination. If you like the video, please do let me know in the comment section, and if you want me to cover any scheme, do let me know. You can get the PDF of this particular video from our Telegram channel. I could see that Nitin said that mystery scheme is not yet uploaded. I'll talk to the team, I'll see why it was delayed, and I'll promise you in future it won't happen. Good morning Shubham, good morning Adit. Shubham, okay, ठीक है. Shalini, yes ma'am, got it. Okay, so I hope now it's clear, everything is clear, and okay, so I'm ending the session. Thank you everybody for watching this long session. It became long, but yeah, it was for you all only. We'll meet again with another video on another lecture. Until then, all the very best for your examination, and thank you.